Hello friends, good day. You are welcome to Decotes training, online training. Today we'll be learning how to cut a gown, a blouse or a gown. It's the same method, the difference is the length. So these are fabric. We are making a gown for a young lady of 11 years old. So you fold your fabric that way, place it on your table, make sure it's smooth, and make sure the edges are together, they're equal. So from the unfolded part, from the folded part, fold the fabric again this way. This is the folded part. Okay, usually the center, that's the center of the body. Fold it. So now we have 4 parts of the fabric. Anytime you are making your cutting, make sure that your fabric is folded into 4 parts. The body is folded into 4 parts. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, that is it. My right hand side is the upper part of the fabric. So we are starting the measurement from there. And the first part of the body is the shoulder. So we are taking the measurement of shoulder on that level. For the client that we are making clothes for, her shoulder is 13. 13 divided by 2 is giving us 6.5. So that is it. Then ½ inch added to it will give us for sewing allowance, cutting and sewing allowance. Then we need to get the bust of our client. So from the upper part of the fabric, which is the shoulder, down to 8 inches, that is where we will get our armhole and also the bust. Then we continue down to 12 inches, which is the half length of our client. Then from the waist, where we mark the 12 inches, we start another measurement in order to get the hip, and that is about 7.5 inches, because it's a child, so you give it to her for 7.5. If it's an adult, we make 8 inches in order to get the hip. Now we go back to the upper part, that is the bust. Don't forget, from the upper part to the bust region is 8 inches. So our client bust is 25 divided by 4. Okay, 25 divided by 4, we'll be having about 6.25. But for proper measurements, we can do 6.5. 6.5 in 2 places we give you 13. In 4 places we give you 26. So we are still in order. Is better is bigger than is smaller. That is our measurement. That will give us 26 instead of 25. Add 2 inches to it for your sewing allowance. That's the armhole. So from here you draw it up, do your curve up to the upper part where you have marked out the shoulder. Then from the shoulder, the shape of the shoulder is not square, it's a bit slanty. So what you do, just measure out ½ inch from the shoulder, then you draw it up, you link it to the upper part of the fabric. I hope you got that. So that is it. Your shoulder must not go straight when you are cutting, it has to be slant so that the shape will be properly maintained. Now the waist of our client. The waist of our client is 23. 23 divided by 4. 23 divided by 4. So 5.5 will give us 11. So we're talking about 22. So we are having a 5 3/4, 5 3/4. Okay, as you can see, 5.5 with 2 lines added to it. Again, you add 2 inches. Okay, then the hip 28, conveniently that's 7. You mark your 7, then add 2 inches. Depending on how you want the end to look like, if you want it to be shapy, if you want it to be A shape, whichever way you want. This is the straight line all the way down. If you want it to be shapy, just all you need to do is just deduct 1 inch from the total number of the hip. Here we have 9 inches. Okay, so at the base here we are going to reduce it to 8. That will give you pencil shape. But if you want it as a liner, all you need to do is to add 1.5 inch, depending on how wide you want the A-liner to be. You can add 1.5 inch from the main line. This is the main line, don't forget. 1.5 inch, that is it. Okay, so from your hip, you connect your dot. That is it. Then from the hip, you move up to your waist, connect to your waist, and then connect to your armhole. If you feel that the armhole, this is the armhole of the child, if you feel that it's too big, you can increase it by 1 inch. It's better, there's plenty of space than it to be loose. If there's a mistake here, that's the end of the fabric. Okay, already it's taking shape, isn't it? It's taking shape. This is a beautiful gown. You trace before you cut, otherwise you will have issue. Depending on the type of neck that we want, like I said, is a child. We start with 2.5 inches from top downwards. 2.5 by 2.5. So this is what you have. If you are doing a round neck, then you connect your dot. That is it. If you feel uncomfortable that it's not wide enough, you can extend it a little bit. Beautiful. As you can see, this is a round neck. Then we move to the back. Okay, the back cannot be as deep as that of the front, so make sure you gauge it very well. It's expected to be higher, so that is it. Beautiful. And for proper measuring, mark your sewing allowance. Mark it like that, so even when the upper part is off, you know where your sewing allowance is. So you must not sew far more than is necessary. Your sewing allowance and zip allowance, what size of zip are you using, will determine the length of where you are going to sew. Okay, you can use size 18. So from here downward to 16, we will mark from 16 here to here is the zip allowance. Then where we are sewing is from here down to this level. Here is the slit allowance, 7 inches. So this is where you are going to sew, and from here to here is your zip allowance. Now it's time to cut. You must trace properly before you do your cutting. Okay, that is the front Then this is the back. Don't forget our slanty shoulder. Beautiful. Then you may decide to cut on the line, or you add a little space before cutting. Is for to be on the safer side. So we are going for the A-liner pattern. Look at this edge, the end of the skirt of the gown is not smooth, is not in proper alignment, and because it's A-liner, again it's not going to be straight. Okay, you let it slant. Beautiful. Our gown is ready. Our gown is ready. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.